Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. My name is Draygone the Well and Fuzzbottom Jr. and these are some of my patrons. Snow Hazard, and a special thanks to my special sponsor, Lit Dragon. When we last left off, we were in the middle of a dungeon, and in this dungeon we had a cliffhanger. That's right, it is another two-part episode. Right after we just had another one. Normally I try to avoid situations like that, but this is a special occasion. And in fact, it's a different situation. The previous cliffhanger was all, oh my goodness, I died. Will I be able to win? Find out next time. But in this situation, I found a glitch. I am excited. Okay, so to recap, we are in this cave hunting down a demon. In fact, the demon is, I'll point it out after the random encounter. Ah, heck with it. The demon is down a hallway nearby. And along the way, I encountered a couple of Frodes who are now on my team. And the Frodes are actually kind of interesting because, as it turns out, their coordinates are a little bit off-centered. That is, while it looks like the Frode is standing right there, the Frode is actually, according to the game, standing a little further up. Or maybe a little further back. I'm not entirely sure how this works. All I know is, anytime I go into the menu and then get back out, the game tries to correct the Frode's position on the map. It sets the Frode backwards just a little bit. But the correction never works, and so every time I go into the menu and go out, I'm pushed back a little bit more and more until eventually, as you can see, I am being pushed backwards through the wall. This is awesome. I love finding glitches, and this is easily one of my favorite glitches I've encountered in an RPG Maker game. And it's not even the game creator's fault. This is RPG Maker 3's fault. So that makes this even better. And so today, I'm gonna do what I normally do when I find glitches. I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna go ahead and explore the world inside the walls. And not just inside this dungeon either. I'm gonna go ahead and, after I'm done in here, I'm gonna go out into the world, head into a town or two, basically try to figure out and discover all sorts of places where I can just go through walls and, you know, see what I can find. Oh, this is awesome. I wonder how far I could go before I, reach an invisible wall. Oh, why are there random encounters in here? That kind of ruins the fun. I'm gonna try running. Oh my goodness. Yay, glitches. It's just one skeleton, and we're a guy and two frogs. Seriously can't run from this? There is no reason why we should be unable to run. Ooh, you can barely see where I came from. Alright. Well, what am I gonna do now? I know the exit to this room is right in this direction. And unfortunately, there was another battle with a pair of jellies and skeletons, so I couldn't run from that fight. I mean, if I couldn't just run from a skeleton, I'm not running from skeleton and jellies. Alright. So the exit to this room is right around here. Oh, I really don't need these encounters right now. I want to find out if I can somehow trigger the exit to this Zeta mimic. I bet it's the same mimic from before. Alright. Door found? Anywhere? Maybe if I go from behind here? No. So... Oh! Duh. I can just go back in the same way I came out. And sure enough, oh, you know what this means? Oh, well, first off, I'm glad that I was able to discover this glitch on camera. At the same time, I almost wish that I had known about it ahead of time. Because, thanks to this glitch, I got behind the boss door without using the key. I could have skipped part of this dungeon. In fact, let's just continue doing this. I know I got the key, but come on, this is a really cool glitch. So, basically, after you find the first road, you don't need to hunt down the other keys. You can just go ahead and glitch your way to the other road and then glitch your way into the boss's lair. Just to make sure, does this work with both roads? I would assume that recolors don't use different roles. So this is awesome. This is turning out to be my favorite episode so far. Alright. I got a new plan, by the way. It will do me no good. No, wait, never mind. Oh, I don't even have a revival thing on me. Was there a revival item in the shop in Millis? I don't know. Well, in any case, I used up some stuff while I was in there. Not items, but MP. So, gonna go heal. I might as well save again. That was fun. Oh, it was the Red Road that had the revival elixir. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I don't need all these white wines first off. Let's give you that. And give a.k.a. the revival elixir. That'll come in handy eventually, I think. Yeah, it should. Yeah, okay. And then... what else? Let's give a couple of these spotted eggs to the Red Road as well. We need a couple of healers here. Yeah, you can have... well, no. Okay, this is my item setup then. And step at the heal along the way, because I had a random encounter on the way to the save point. And now let us make our way to the boss. What does it look like on the other side of this? I'm kind of curious. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a thumbnail of me sitting outside the walls. That sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a good idea. Kind of like this. Yeah. Alright. So, apparently the outside of a cave is a wall. That is interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and get back in there and make our way to the boss. Finally make our way to the boss. I've been going at this a while. No thanks to a bunch of random encounters and of course this wonderful, wonderful glitch. Can I get out from here? Yeah. Here we are. And like before, the boss has a pedestal. Also, like the first boss, I'm pretty sure this boss is going to have... okay, I gotta try this. I'm pretty sure this boss is going to have a shield form before I'm able to take care of it for real. So 2 phases to this fight. Alright, this process is taking a little bit longer because the game has to kind of reload the map every time I exit the menu. Oh, cannot move to a location that is underwater or on a slope. Please select a valid destination. Press X to return to the title screen. Well, I was kind of hoping to make my way to the bottom of the ocean, but that's not an option. Interesting, by the way, that this game, well, RPG Maker 3, that is, has a failsafe built in for situations like that. I'm so glad I saved. Actually, you know what? Let's not go for the boss quite yet. Because as soon as I defeat this boss, these pros are going to leave my team, and I won't be able to try glitching my way through walls anymore. So it's basically going to be like, well, when else am I going to get this opportunity? Let's leave the cave and, well, see what other places I can break through walls. Maybe I'll find something interesting. I got a few places in mind, but first let me go ahead and save, and I'll make a new opening, because there's a pretty good chance that this episode is going to go on way longer than I would like, just for a single episode. Alright, so I went ahead and switched back to the green road because, quite honestly, I like the green road a little bit better, visually at least. I'll let the red road back in the lead when we go after the boss, but for this adventure, it's going to be all about the green road. Anyway, I wanted to cut in right here because this cave in particular, I just wanted to point a couple of things out. This is the cave with the maze that I mentioned earlier. I kind of rushed my way through it because I was worried about random encounters being in here, but as it turns out, this maze does not have any random encounters. Good on you, Tsunami. That would have been annoying. So, that being the case, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly go through this here loop to show that there is, in fact, nothing of interest in this loop. This isn't the only reason that I'm in here, by the way, because I discovered a little bit of something interesting off camera. But anyway, here's the end of the loop, and here's back where I was just a moment ago. So I'm going to go ahead and head back over to this wall over here, and we're going to go ahead and glitch through it. So let me do a little bit of this, and there we go. So now I'm outside the wall again, and I'm going to align myself here, keep my compass relatively straight, that way I don't lose myself. So right behind me is the wall that I just passed through. Now let us move on here, and suddenly I get a little marker that says that I cannot go any further. It's actually kind of interesting that that marker is there, because they actually did not account for the possibility of you breaking out of the walls. So, well, let's see here. If I move the camera over here, you can just barely make out the wall. In fact, on the video recorder, you can't see it at all. But trust me, the wall is there. It is barely visible. In fact, let's just make this easy. I'll turn it back around and hop towards it a bit, and now you should be able to see it. Again, just barely. But anyway, my point is that even though this says you can't go any further, as it turns out, you can go further. A lot further. In fact, I'm willing to bet that I can just go on to infinity until either I get bored or the game crashes. And I don't want to do that because it would make it a little bit hard to find my way back. Because, like, even though I'm trying to keep the compass straight, I'm probably not perfectly straight. And so if I went too far, I might be off-center just enough that I would not be able to find my way back. Of course, if that wound up being the case, I could just reload my save. Anyway, now let's go ahead and head back outside the entrance to this dungeon. Alright, well, there's the castle town. What is it called? Millis? Well, first things first, because I'm sure some of you are wondering what's inside the cave. Actually, you can pretty much see what's in the cave from here. Mind you, it is a little bit dark inside, but what the heck. Let's just go ahead and... Okay, so, yeah. This'll take some work. It is weird that every time you come out of the menu, it has to kind of reload the map like this. What is the deal with that? This is working, right? Would be pretty interesting if it turned out this didn't work on the world map. Well, I think it is working, because the camera is kind of throwing a fit here. Ah, there we are. We are inside the cave object. So we're just going to kind of hang out in here and also see what's through here. Through here is... Oh! Now it was definitely worth coming in here. I did not expect the cave to be textured on the inside. Interesting. Oh boy, I bet we're going to make all sorts of discoveries like this. Well, in that case, we most definitely need to see the inside of the castle. And I think we're on the inside, and sure enough, the inside of the castle is textured. I find it interesting that the trigger for entering the castle is not all the way inside the castle. There's like a certain part of it you have to be facing. Yeah, the direct center of the castle, you have to be facing it in order to be able to go into Millis. And now we're going into Millis. Okay, before we go any further, I kind of want to go to the inn and make it daytime. You know, if I wanted to, I could get myself under this using this glitch, but it wouldn't be very interesting. Instead, we're gonna do a little bit of light traveling here. We're going to go ahead and... Alright, so there's an invisible wall here. Let's go ahead and see if we can break through that invisible wall. We probably can. In fact, I think we already made it. Yep, we made it through the invisible wall. We are not supposed to be able to go out here. And we are, in fact, definitely out here. Clearly, you are not meant to be able to walk out here because, you know, the ground is not solid. Also, there is, like, space below us and a black void. Oh, hey, it's the moon. Hi, moon. So, let's see here. It is worth noting that that background is not part of the skybox. Rather, it is a giant 3D model that happens to surround this little town map. And in fact, let's go ahead and see how far we have to go in order to reach it. And while we're heading out there, I want to bring up a YouTube channel called Shezez. It's like S-H-E-S-E-Z. And on that channel, there is a show called Boundary Break. Boundary Break is an interesting show. Basically, the guy uses special modded programs in order to look around games. Like, take control of the game camera and move it anywhere he wants. And it's actually pretty interesting, because you get to find out little tricks and details that the developers don't want you to see. Like, some games that he did include Banjo-Kazooie, Animal Crossing, Halo, Super Mario RPG. Pretty interesting stuff. I definitely recommend checking it out. There are a few games on there, like Paper Mario, where the camera is a little wonky, I guess because the 3D engine is using some weird trickery. mainly with certain Nintendo 64 games, but 95% of the videos are easy enough to watch. Also, there's like Banjo-Kazooie, which does this massive amount of culling, and he had to use some special trickery just to be able to do that video. In fact, he needed some help. Oh, hey, we reached the boundary. Oh, wait. There's more scenery behind the trees. Well, let's keep going. Let's make sure we're on the straight and narrow here. Now, this is not the first time I've been outside the boundary of a town. In fact, it's not the only way to do that. I forget what episode it was, but during my Let's Play of Ursa's Quest, Tree of Life, I performed a different glitch in order to get out here. It involved like adding parts of a town and setting a warp point to put you out there, and then removing those parts of the town, but still leaving the warp point. Man, these mountains are a lot farther than they looked, huh? And we're there. And from here, it is nothing but sky. Actually, if I continued even further for a while, eventually the entire skybox would just glitch out, and there would be nothing but a black void. And you go even further, and the game would start glitching out. Should I show that? You know what? It's my reboot. This is my first RPG Maker Let's Play of my RPG Maker reboots. I gotta show that off. But to give you an idea how long it's gonna take, because I'm not gonna show the entire trip, there's my current time, 5 hours, 3 minutes. Oh, there's a change. So the sky texture is disappearing, depending on the camera angle, and it just leaves just the basic flat texture of the sky beyond. And it didn't take me long to get here. Basically, only a minute has passed. Now let's see how far we have to go before the basic background disappears. I imagine, by the way, it might be faster with a different character, but I haven't really figured out which characters are faster than which. I do know that in RPG Maker 3, the chicken character is one of the fastest. Oh, and there we go. Oh, let me go a little bit further. And yeah, there we go. The background has completely derezzed, and we are now at 5:06. So another couple of minutes. Again, it kind of depends on the camera angle. The camera... Well, I'm not really sure how to explain it. Oh, by the way, there's where I came from. That's kind of interesting. Now the question is, how far do I have to go before things get really glitchy? I mean, let's take a look at my character just sitting still for a moment. Aside from the background being gone, he's fairly stable. I'm not sure though how far I would have to go in order for the character to become unstable, so I do not guarantee that I'll actually make it to that point. I'll try going for about 10 minutes, and if nothing changes, then I'll just reload my save, and we'll go through some more walls. Actually, I decided to go 45 minutes, because I have nothing better to do. Eventually, my fingers got tired of holding the run button, so I just put my skunk mug on top of the button. Anyway, as you can see, the character model has become a little bit unstable. And in fact, if I move the camera around, it becomes even more unstable. Well, maybe not. Actually, as I bring it around, it becomes less unstable. So, oh, wait, there goes some more unstableness. Kind of all ripply and stuff. In fact, if we default it to position, and there we go, there's some instability. That is fun. In fact, let's go ahead and bring Akira back in front. See what he looks like out here. Ooh, boy, look at all that. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. It's kind of funny how from the side he's more stable and... Oh, hey, I got the sky back like that. That's kind of weird. As you can see, though, the town has long since disappeared. I'm not entirely sure how far you have to go in order for the town to disappear, but, yeah, it disappeared. Anyway, enough about this. Let me reload my save, and we will resume some going through walls. Alright, here we are, back in actual town. It's worth noting, by the way, that Boundary Break is... It is scripted, and therefore it is probably better than my attempt at breaking some boundaries this episode. After all, this is a Let's Play. It is not scripted. So, probably not as good as an actual episode of Boundary Break, but still, this is pretty interesting. So, before I do anything else, I kind of want to point out this door. This door is part of the shop model, and that door doesn't actually lead anywhere. However, since I'm breaking some boundaries, let's actually see if there's anything of worth inside. Probably not, but should be moderately interesting. Actually, it's not moderately interesting, it's just an empty room with some textures clipping with each other. That's kind of interesting. Actually, the door is kind of all the way inside, so that's also interesting in a way. Huh. Yeah, that is interesting. Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay, so the door is kind of jutting inward, and you know, I'm not even trying to make words for this to make sense. Let's just go ahead and head inside the shop, because I'm a little curious about something. As we discovered in part 1, the frogs cannot talk to the shopkeeper across the counter, and I thought it was maybe because the frog is too short, but we already discovered that the frog can talk across the counter in the inn. So now I'm wondering if it's because the frog is a little off-center. So let me go in and out of the menu, and all of a sudden I can find myself able to, well, maybe not. Okay, well, I have a feeling that is in fact what the situation is. In fact, let me go ahead and just bounce away and then get close again. Let me just turn away on the spot. No, I definitely have to glitch my way towards the person in order to talk to the person. Now I'm gonna try something extra special. There is oh hey, I actually found a way to talk. Kind of. It almost works. Hey! There we go. But anyway, I mentioned a little bit ago that outside in the town, it is possible through other methods to glitch your way outside of the town boundaries. However, that's not normally possible inside buildings. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna see what it's like inside the wall of this building. This will be a new experience. And there we go. As experience. What the? Oh my goodness! What? What? Bye.